I think we're so careful here not to go into the realms of just bashing capitalism, which is effectively what Polly has just been doing and what a lot of the protesters appear to be doing outside. Capitalism is the system which over the past century has every generation doubled people's wealth. It's the system which has put clothes on those people's backs, doubtless with designer labels as well. And we've got to be careful not to condemn that system, but to look at specifically the regulatory framework around the City of London, which clearly wasn't right a few years ago. And the previous government needs to look at itself and ask questions as to whether it had done the right things in the city with regard to that. But as to the wider question, the people now protesting, evidently during the course of next week, will do far more good for the economy if they were to start working and doing something useful to get the wheels of the economy turning, rather than disrupting the City of London over the days to come.
How dare you say if they should be working? 1 million young people are out of work. A lot of them are graduates. A lot of them are willing to work as interns for nothing at all, with nowhere to live and no money to live on. The idea that these are idle, feckless, useless people. You call yourself the Taxpayers Alliance. If you stood for taxpayers, you'd be out there with them, campaigning against the amount of taxpayers' money that has been spent propping up banks that give nothing back, holding back their money, not lending to small businesses, as they said they would, quantitative easing, we're going to have another lot, all the money poured into their pockets, they hold on to it. It isn't about anti-capitalism, it's about bad capitalism. We know perfectly well that the countries with good capitalism, such as the Scandinavian countries, where there is very strict regulation, a much fairer distribution of wealth, also have much stronger economies than ours has ever been. We have one of the worst capitalist systems in the world. Because we've lost out in every way.
Perfect. I'm saying there has been problems with regulation over the last decade, but we need to look at those, work out what went wrong, and decide how to move forward from there, rather than being incredibly generalistic about bankers are greedy, capitalism is bad, and let's try and stop the system.
We've had nothing from the Taxpayers Alliance except support for the very, very rich, support for the city, support for the big business that sponsors you, that pays for you because you're a Conservative Party front movement. We've had nothing from you about standing on the side of median families on median wages who are really, really suffering, and it really matters. And this is going to spark something much more than you quite realise.
Jonathan Isserby and Polly Toynbee, thanks very much. That's a good point to leave that there. Thank you both for giving us your views on this issue.